Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David here. We're back with another video. Ah, why? Why do I have to be a Falcons fan? Like, legit, why do I have to be a Falcons fan? As you guys can see on the screen, the Falcons lost to New Orleans Saints 27-26. Now, even though I did predict the New Orleans Saints to win the game by a field goal last week, it's still disappointing considering this right here. Atlanta was up by 16 heading into the final quarter, and New Orleans scored 17 and won the game by 1 point. Taking a look at the passing, Marcus Mariota, 20 for 33, 215 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So when it comes to this being an actual Marcus Mariota game, I feel like this is actually a very decent Marcus Mariota game. And the fact that he did not throw any interceptions is actually pretty good because I expected him to at least throw 1 or 2 picks. But he did making the biggest mistake of all, and he ended up ending fumbling the ball, trying to go for a first down, fumbled the ball. Saints got the ball back, ended up going down to score, and that led up to us losing the game. Jamies Winston passing 23 for 34, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jamies Winston had a very good game. I'm not even gonna lie to that. But these two quarterbacks actually were kind of similar in terms of like completions and attempts, and then yards, and then besides touchdowns for Marcus Mariota. But this is the reason I want to talk about the Falcons right now. Taysom Hill was leading rusher for the New Orleans Saints. Alvin Kamara had 9 carries, 39 yards, 0 touchdowns. Taysom Hill had 4 carries, 81 yards, 1 touchdown. But then when it comes to the Atlanta side on the football, Cordell Patterson carried the ball 22 times, had 120 yards, 1 touchdown. Marcus Mariota carried the ball 12 times, had 72 yards, and 1 touchdown. So if we go back really to this Jameis Winston thing, if you add the 72 yards onto this, he actually did better than Jameis Winston in terms of yards because Jameis only ran the ball twice, only had 9 yards, and he had a touchdown. Well, Marcus Mariota had a touchdown, so this is actually kind of a better game for Marcus Mariota. But oh my God, why does this Falcons defense do this to me? This Falcons defense gives me so much hope. Before I get into Atlanta Falcons, let's go on into the receiving. Jarvis Landry, 7 receptions, 114 yards. Michael Thomas, 5 receptions, 57 yards, 2 touchdowns though. And AJ Terrell, like I said, was on Michael Thomas, and unfortunately was not able to shut Michael Thomas down. But when it came to Atlanta Falcons wide receiving core, we had Drake London, Olamide Zaccheaus, and Cardell Hodge. Kyle Pitts only had 2 receptions for 19 yards, so the New Orleans Saints kind of shut him down. But Drake London, the rookie, who was actually just cleared for the game yesterday before the game even started, was our best receiver. 5 receptions, 74 yards, 0 touchdowns. But this bothers me. The receiving guys all no touchdowns, considering Marcus Mariota went 215 yards but 0 touchdowns. And then we get on into the most important thing. Yeah. Atlanta fumbles, New Orleans fumbles. New Orleans had 1 fumble, 1 lost fumble. Atlanta Falcons had 3 fumbles, 2 lost, and 2 recovered. Yeah. Marcus Mariota, Olamide Zaccheaus, Rashaan Evans all fumbled the ball. And this one right here, Marcus Mariota Rashaan Evans recovered the fumbles. That's what I mean by it. Marcus Mariota and Olamide Zaccheaus fumbled the ball. Marcus Mariota's 2 fumbles were probably a majority of the reasons why the Atlanta Falcons did not win this game. And I'm very honestly disappointed with the fact that we worked so hard on the defensive front, and yet Marcus Mariota makes 2 big mistakes, and that ends up costing the Falcons defense when it comes to this game. Now we move on into the defense. Because the defense, for once, actually gave me hope. Like, look at this right here. Michael Walker, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. Grady Jarrett, 1.5 sacks, 1 tackles for loss. Lorenzo Carter got a half a sack. Arnold Ebiketie got his first official sack in the NFL sacking Jamies Winston, and he had 1 tackle for loss. But the biggest one for me is that you guys don't even see his name here. We have to keep going down, and his name is not even on here. I wonder who you guys think I'm talking about. Well, he does play for Atlanta Falcons. Oh, he is right there. I was missing his name I was missing his name the whole time. I wanted him to play better, but it just didn't seem to be happening that way. And I gotta be honest with that. I'm completely fine with that. AJ Terrell, 5 tackles, 4 solo tackles, 0 sacks, 0 tackles for a loss. And if I believe right, there was no interceptions from both teams. So that's very, very good for that. But YOUNGWAY, 4-5 when it turns to field goals. And the only field goal that he missed was the last one that he was going for 63 yards. And it got blocked. He had 5 field goals. The first 4, all good. The final one was blocked. His longest one was 54 yards. And that one, that 54-yard one, looked like it was going to be, it looked like it gone longer. So if YOUNGWAY had managed to kick a 63-yard field goal and win Atlanta Falcons the game, he would have been enshrined in the NFL Hall of Fame, bro. Like, he was just so perfect today. Will Lutz was kind of okay for them too, but YOUNGWAY was definitely one of our best players for this game. So, if I gotta grade each part of the Atlanta Falcons team from this game against the New Orleans Saints, I'm gonna give Marcus Mariota 20 for 33, 215 yards, average 6.5 yards, 57.9 QBR rating. I'm gonna give Marcus Mariota a C plus, because this is what I would expect Marcus Mariota to be doing, and the only way he would probably get at least C plus or higher, even though he did add 72 yards. You know what? I'll make it a B. I'll make it a B just because he added the 72 yards rushing and the rushing touchdown. I will make it a B. But I need to see more from him when it comes to the passing side. I know he can use his legs, but we've seen in this game why you have to be careful when he uses his legs, because in one of those times he fumbled the ball and New Orleans Saints recovered the ball, and that's one of the important reasons why New Orleans Saints won this game. Running, the Atlanta Falcons rushing, they've rushed for 201 yards compared to New Orleans Saints 151 yards. The rushing team gets an A. If you can beat the New Orleans Saints when it comes to rushing or running the ball, you deserve an A. Cordell Patterson, 22 carries, 120 yards, 1 touchdown. Absolutely perfect. Marcus Mariota adding the 12 carries, 72 yards. Absolutely perfect. Finishing with 201 total rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. The rushing team deserves an A, and they're going to get an A. If I had to say the best player on the rushing game is definitely Cordell Patterson. Receiving. Now, looking at New Orleans receiving, they had 23 receptions, 269 yards. We had 20 receptions, 215 yards. We averaged 10.8 yards per catch, and they averaged 11.7 yards per catch. They had 2 touchdowns. We had 0. So, looking at the stats compared to New Orleans versus the Atlanta Falcons receiving, I'm going to be honest, I got to give this to the New Orleans Saints, and the New Orleans Saints are going to be better when it comes to receiving, which means the Atlanta Falcons receiving core will get a C minus, because Drake London was good, Olamide Zaccheaus was good. Like I said, with the Marcus Mariota thing, I just got to see touchdowns to the passing game. I can't keep relying on this rushing game. We gotta see some development when it comes to the passing game, and I gotta see one of the receivers just ball out. Whether it's Drake London, whether it's Olamide Zaccheaus, whether it's Kyle Pitts, I just gotta see one of them ball out. And yeah, the receiving team is going to get a C minus for this game. Moving on, we have the Atlanta defense. The Atlanta defense, for what it did against the New Orleans Saints and Jamies Winston, the Atlanta defense is going to get an A+. I have to give that. I have to give them an A+. They had 4 sacks in total. New Orleans didn't even have a sack and our offensive line is worse than the New Orleans Saints offensive line. They did have 2 tackles for loss, but we had 4. They did have 2 pass deflections. We did have 2 pass deflections, but we also had 8 QB hits compared to New Orleans Saints 1. So yes, the Atlanta Falcons defense definitely deserves the praise, and they're going to get an A+. But the real MVP of this Atlanta Falcons game, when it comes to this game against New Orleans Saints, I gotta give it to him. I'm going to get his jersey definitely. It's YOUNGWAY Koo, because without YOUNGWAY Koo, the Atlanta Falcons would not have been in this game, and I gotta say this, just for the amount of field goals that he made and the distance he made the field goals he made from, YOUNGWAY Koo is the star of the game. But if I had to give MVP to each side of the team, Cordell Patterson's getting my MVP for the offense. On defense, that's got to be real tough. You know what? My defensive MVP for this game, when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons versus New Orleans Saints game, I'm going to give it to Michael Walker because he had 6 tackles, 4 solo tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and he had 1 QB hit. Michael Walker had a very good game. So he's going to get the defensive MVP for me when it comes to this game versus the New Orleans Saints. And then the final MVP will be the kicker, YOUNGWAY Koo. He made 80% of his field goals. Obviously, the last one being blocked. But he went 2 for 2 in extra points, and he added 14 points to the Atlanta Falcons score. So the Atlanta Falcons would have been on at least 12 had it not been for YOUNGWAY Koo. So I just gotta give it to that. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys all next time for the preview for the next game where we're gonna be facing the defending NFL champions, the Los Angeles Rams, who are coming off a loss against the Buffalo Bills. It's gonna be a very, very tough game. I expect us to get blown out, but I'll see you guys later when I give the preview for that game. Peace.